We often hear about the need to prevent obesity, whether by a change in diet or more exercise. One response is a partnership between Boston Medical Center and the Appalachian Mountain Club with prescriptions for the outdoors. To tell us about the program are the coordinator for the Outdoor Prescription Program from the AMC, Pam Hess, and the project manager for the Be Well program at Boston Medical Center, Elise Petersen. Thank you very much for being with us. I want to start with Elise Petersen. Talk about the health risk that you're working on here. How serious is this now?
Yeah, so I think that the three main health issues in pediatrics that we're focusing on right now at Boston Medical Center are reduction of obesity, reduction of ADHD, and
well, talk about ADHD, because we don't hear about that as often, because I mean, obviously, if you're worried about obesity, you got to get out there and do something. But how does a program with activity in the outdoors help kids who have this problem with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder?
Yeah, multiple studies have shown that environmental education and just being outside in nature reduces the way that ADHD kind of looks, both in the classroom and from parents at home.
Turning to Pam Hess, what about the response of the children to this kind of a program? Because you're exposing them to something new, but you have to exert yourself too.
Yeah, so what we see out in the field are a lot of really happy faces, which is one of our measures of success. Kids who maybe get there a little nervous, they're not sure what they're going to do, and you see that same look on parents' faces. And then as soon as they are able to play and run and interact with other kids, the smiles just don't stop, and the laughing, and they have such a great time, and they see how easy it is to do this, and it's so close to their home that it's something that they want to keep doing, and they come back to us or go on their own outside.
Give me a sense of some of the places where you've been with these children.
So we recently just came into Boston, and we're using many of the Boston urban wilds here in Boston, and we use whether it's state land, city land, national land. We're not a landowner ourselves, but what we do is really move around the city and show people right in their own backyards the incredible resources and opportunities they have, and that it's easy and close and fun and free.
Elise, some of what's going on here is just very simple. You get a bunch of kids walking down a path through the woods. So why is that such a big deal?
Well, I think that it's about the kind of interaction that they're having with nature, and also the interaction that they're having with each other and their families. Sort of this promotion of creativity and critical thinking, and having an opportunity to be outside in neighborhoods that you don't normally think of having the opportunity to be outside as much.
Coming back to Pam, what about that critical thinking part? When I was a kid going in the woods, I was just playing. So how does the critical thinking come in?
Well, you thought you were just playing.
I thought I was, yes.
But what about when you were trying to decide who got to be the leader and follow the leader, or who got to build the fort, or where to build the fort? You were using your problem-solving skills to decide that you were in charge, and you were using your creativity to decide, should we use mud or sticks, or what should we do? And a lot of our kids don't have those opportunities anymore. They're not getting outside with other kids. They're not interacting in that way to develop those social norms that we thought was just what we were playing. Well, kids just aren't outside just playing anymore.
Elise, I imagine part of this is not that the kids or the parents don't want to move around. It's just that the way life is scheduled and structured, this might be hard to do.
Yeah.
So how does this program help people overcome that barrier?
Well, I think that we're trying to provide programs during times that parents and kids are able to actually participate in them, after school and on the weekends. And I think that the program really works on helping alleviate any stress around what do I do with my kid outside. The programs are focusing on if I get my kids outside, what can I do with them in an hour that can be interactive and fun for everyone.
Is this a program that you have any difficulty persuading parents to go along with? Not because they don't like this kind of thing, but a lot of them, they have work, they have other children too, and so do you meet resistance from people who have this kind of a scheduling problem?
I know that the physicians that have been prescribing the program haven't mentioned that yet. I mean, they've written over 100 prescriptions since we launched the program 3 weeks ago. So I would imagine that that they might see some resistance when they're actually prescribing, but in terms of what we see at the Be Well Center, it's just parents ready to register for the program and look at next steps. Also, the good thing is that it's not just prescription for one child, the whole family can come. So you don't have to, get a babysitter for the other 2 kids in the family and only take one. It's about everybody being included in it.
Pam, how have these programs worked out? Have you seen any kind of interesting results over the long term in some of these partnerships?
We have. I mean, one of the things that we heard at first is no one's going to come, or if they're not comfortable, they'll never show up. But as you mentioned before, there isn't a parent out there who doesn't want to do something good for their family and for their kids. And when they're given the opportunity, it's fun, it's free, it's close, and it's short. Like, well, I'll try it. And what we're finding from parents who are just trying it is they're coming back because they're like, I didn't know this park was a block from my house. I was afraid to come. I didn't know if it'd be safe to go by myself, but in a group I'll go. I didn't know what to do or how to spend the time. And what they're seeing is it's easy, and their kids' faces are lighting up. The whole family is spending time together, and their kids are seeing their parents in a new way, laughing and having fun together and potentially becoming volunteers to lead these trips. And so it's a real success story for everybody of like, oh, they're experiencing a new place, and they're doing it in a really fun, engaging way that's encouraging a healthy lifestyle together.
Right. Elise, if parents want to find out more about this, I mean, do they have to wait till there's a critical, medical issue before, or they can just check this out and maybe get some help with it?
So there are a few different ways that they can get involved with the program, and only one of the ways at BMC requires a prescription. And even at that point, a lot of the time our doctors are prescribing it in a preventive fashion. It doesn't have to be a child who's showing up for a critical issue. It can be a child a lot of the time that's just showing up for their well child visit. And the doctor knows, this is a good opportunity for you and your family to get outside. So it's not so much about a critical health issue. I mean, sure, there are kids that are referred over that have critical health issues, but I think in general, they're just referred over because it's a great program and a great opportunity.
Pam, what about the long run for this kind of a program? Because when you're a kid, you get exposed to this. And later on in life, when you get those options, do I walk or do I take the car? I guess this could maybe tilt you in the right direction.
That's what we're hoping, that it's leading to this idea of a healthy lifestyle, that I can get out with these programs, and I can find out more about the general programs by going to the website, which is www.outdoorsrx.org, and they can find out all the programs. But on that site, they can also find parks they can go on their own and ideas that they can do on their own with us or by themselves as a family. So again, they're finding these other places, and by getting this exposure and these opportunities that the outdoors is for everybody. It's good for everybody, that we're hoping these early interventions of the outdoors is really going to change kind of how they spend their time later in life and the value and what they see in outdoor spaces and wanting to protect them close to home and further away in the future.
Thank you both very much, Pam Hess and Elise Petersen.